When the Lord began to speak through Hosea, the Lord said to him, "Go, take to yourself another adulterous wife, and the children of unfaithfulness, because the Lord is guilty of the vilest adultery in departing from the Lord." So he married Gomer, the daughter of Deborahim, and she conceived and bore him a son. Hosea 1, verse 2, hearing the voice of God. Key number 1, you need to know about when the Lord is speaking. Number 1, every time you shall hear the voice of God, it carries the go order. Go. Commissioning. Authorization. When God speaks to you, nobody can question you or stop you. Because the voice of God carries the go energy, the move, the force of movement. Then take yourself another adulterous wife. Why do you need to hear God speaking? Because the voice of God will reveal to you your marital partner, the right marital partner. Why are people today struggling with divorces and adultery in marriage? It's because you married and then you're coming to discover later you married wrong. So either you are no longer compatible, so either you separate, and if divorce is not possible because of the children, you end up now looking for a remedy, that is adultery. But when you hear God speaking, that voice releases, or that voice awakens in you the right marriage partner. God spoke, that is your wife. I don't know, maybe Hosea was planning to marry maybe a university girl or a career woman. You don't know. But God told him, no, your wife is a prostitute. That girl called Gomer, she is a whore. But that is your wife. So if God speaks to you, you will notice you don't make marital mistake in choosing the kind of the spouse you are going to spend your life with. Something else, he says, the children of unfaithfulness, the voice of God teaches you of the end product of an action that is about God. The Lord told Hosea, you are going to produce children, but there will be children of unfaithfulness. So you give birth to children, but they don't carry the godliness nature. If you read through the Bible, the Lord keep on saying, and what was he looking? He was looking for godly children. But here he is speaking to Hosea and is making him know the kind of the children to expect. So when you hear the voice of God is able to develop in you an expected result. So that when the result comes, you will not be frustrated by the result. Many people have been offended by God because you invested in God and what came from that investment did not align or agree with your investment. Why were you offended? Because you were expecting what is laid down as the outcome of a process. But God, if He could have spoken to you, you could have had another expectation. You will bear children, but there will be bastard children. There will be illegitimate children. So they will carry that energy of unfaithfulness. He says, because the lad is guilty of the vilest adultery in departing from the Lord. Why do you need to hear God? The voice of God makes you know the sin that is causing God to withdraw from your life. So the Lord is leaving Israel. But is it Israel or Judah? This Judah. During the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, these were Judah. And also in the days of Israel and Jeroboam, that is also Israel. So many people, you do not know what kind of the obstacle you are is resisting you. What kind of the stumbling block that is making you not experience God. And many times is a sin that has been committed either by you directly or through the adoption, the adoptive sin, family or bloodline sin. So when God speaks to you, the voice of God scans for you cardinally the sin that is affecting your relationship with God. If you look at the verse 4, then the Lord said to Hosea, call him Jezreel, because I will soon punish the house of Jehu for the massacre at Jezreel, and I will put an end to the kingdom of Israel. In that day I will break Israel's bow in the valley of Jezreel. Why do you need God to speak? Because if the Lord speaks, He gives you a name of purpose. You notice nowadays many people who are serving God as men and women of God. If you notice, many of us are coming with independent umbrellas. So you say, me, I've been called independently, so I go there and start my own ministry. You get that? But if you hear God, God will give you a name or a title of purpose. Call him Jezreel, meaning this. Jezreel meaning punishment for the massacre done by Jehu at Jezreel when he killed the 70 sons of Ahab in a single day through the elders of Jezreel. So the voice of God will be able to give you, if you are called to be an apostle, the Lord will tell you, call yourself apostle. But it will also make you know this title you have called yourself apostle, it carries what energy, it carries what power, so that you don't find yourself trespassing in spiritual activities because you think you're an apostle, you can do everything. No, the name of purpose. So the question here is this: how did Hosea position himself in hearing the voice of God? Because it is not explicit. Why did God speak to Hosea? Yeah, the son of Beeri. In verse 1, the Bible says the word of the Lord came to Hosea, son of Beeri. Why did God speak to Hosea, if you are asked, and it is not explicit? There is only one single reason: purpose of God. God was using the life of Hosea as a communication formula to the people of Judah and Israel, to Oholiba and Ohora. So the purpose, if God has a program with you that He wants you to achieve, He will speak to you for the sake of that program, that plan, that purpose.